Apologies for the poor quality, but my phone basically that I do use to record my match reactions on is basically buggered at the moment. It's for some reason it's not uploading, so I figured I would just try and talk through this a little bit, and obviously I can sort of go on a little bit more, much to your displeasure, I'm sure. Yeah, get in. We actually won the game at home. We won, beat Fulham 1-0, and it was a deserved win, I thought. I felt like Fulham had most of the ball, but I expected them to do that. I think I expected them to play similarly how they played against Reading. They finished in the top six. Both teams obviously finished in the top six last year, and Fulham are doing better than Reading, but still nothing great. So I think to get the win against them and to certainly grind out the win against them, when we got in front, we put our bodies on the line and worked our socks off to get the 3 points. And I think that's very encouraging in and of itself. Chris Coleman, what can you say? I think that he's kept 3 clean sheets in his first 5 games. Obviously we lost at Villa, but bearing in mind he had 2 days for that game. So I would say it doesn't count, but obviously kind of does. Burton obviously won, should be winning that game comfortably anyway. Reading would have got something in my opinion had it not been for the sending off, but nevertheless lost the game. And then obviously we got a point at Wolves when we're down to 10 men for over a third of the game, and we had we had quite a large number of injuries, large quantity of them. So to get a point there was great, especially the league leaders who've done really, really well this season, obviously. And then obviously to win again today. I felt like after we played Wolves, the teams that we had left, which were Fulham, Birmingham, Sheffield United, Nottingham Forest, Barnsley and all them, for the rest of this year, I know Barnsley's on New Year's Day, but like in that run of fixtures, I felt Fulham on paper have the best team. And I feel like it was just crucial that we actually got the win against them. And finally, it ends this stupid hoodoo that we haven't won for something like, what is it? I feel like 10,000 million years, for God's sake. We haven't won at home all year since, last December. In fact, December 17th, 2016, our last win was when we played Watford. So it's, didn't quite manage 365 days. Good God. But anyway, no, we won. Like I said, Fulham had a majority of the ball, but I think that in general we were very solid defensively. We managed to keep them out relatively effectively. We had to dig deep. We really had to dig deep, and I'll tell you what. One thing I was very impressed with was, well, I'll tell you a couple of players I was impressed with. Browning, I thought was outstanding at the back. I thought that his intercepting was great. I felt like he was, positionally aware of where he was supposed to be. Cleared the ball at every opportunity. The instant it got into his, own defensive third. And then the other one was Darren Gibson. I know I can't believe I'm saying that. This is the standard for me that Gibson should really be at. It's the standard where, because he's come from Man United, then went to Everton, so you clearly have something about you. Former Republic of Ireland international. I don't think he gets near the Republic of Ireland team now, but you get the point. He's got to have something about him. And I thought he was excellent today. I thought he kept constantly getting in from spaces to win the ball back, and he was, he wanted it as much. He wanted it really genuine, as did the whole team, mind to be fair, but he wanted it. And then you've got this passing, his long-range passing, that's what you can contribute to the team. And since Coleman's took charge, to be fair to the lad, he has improved. He has played well. Is the answer long-term? Probably not. But for the moment, at least he's performing. One thing I was very impressed, and I've said this to Pete, obviously, who I went to the game with. Me, Pete and Ben may possibly do a pod between the three of us. Possibly. If we don't, then this will have to do for you. I'm sure of it. But I feel like today, Coleman's substitutions for the second game that we've won, the second win in a row, his substitutions won us the match. If you look against Burton, he brought on Osoro, he brought on Gibson, he brought on Vaughan. What happened? Straight away, 2 late goals. Sorry. And today, rather ballsy decision actually. He took off Vaughan and took off Graben, our 2 senior strikers. Now, obviously, Graben, will get you goals, but he's not really going to run around for you. That doesn't piss me off, by the way, as much as it does a lot of other people, because where would we be without his goals? But I can see people's arguments that they want, Graben to sort of showcase a little bit more. As far as I'm concerned with Vaughan, he's exactly the opposite. He runs around a lot, bless him, and tries a lot, but he's not going to score you many goals. He's not going to get you, probably lucky to get you 5 goals in this league. If we were to go down to League One, by the way, he's probably someone that we could hang on to. But anyway, he took those 2 off. They were our senior strikers. He took them off and brought on Astoro and Maja. Now, bearing in mind both of them, Astoro's made impact sub appearances in recent weeks. Maja been knocking on the first team. Both of them have, but not quite being able to cut it at the moment. Once they came on, I thought that Maja's goal was taken really well, and I think Asoro's blistering pace, like against Burton and like against Reading, I felt like both of those games, he was the one that was coming on and was attempting to change the game more so than any of the others, mainly because his pace down the side was very effective. And it was good because Fulham actually didn't know how to deal with them because they had never seen them play before. As far as, the substitutions themselves go, I was very impressed to see that Coleman actually made some proactive changes. One thing, and this includes Sam Allardyce and what I'm about to say actually, one thing I was getting quite fed up of was seeing managers be reactive with their subs and wait until basically the match was over, basically on the scoreline, or that there wasn't enough time in the game left for incoming players coming onto the pitch to make an impact. And I was very impressed with him that he actually had the balls to take Vaughan and Grabanov. Someone I was talking to after the game said, what are you doing? Or basically, criticised his decision at the time. And I did that against Burton, actually. I was no, I don't agree with that substitution, but fair play. We want to be proved wrong. We want, we sort of want these subs to do well. We want them to shut us up and actually get results for it. So, both of them look very good today. And when we got in front, which was a very well taken goal by Maja, by the way, that'll do him the world of good, by the way. We had energy, we had fresh energy, and Fulham obviously had to counter and push men forward. And the instant they did that, when they left themselves on the break, we had two pacey forwards up front, especially Soro in that. And Dong obviously came on and did relatively well. He did okay, ran around a little bit and gave us a little bit of energy. Nothing special, but that's what Vaughan does for you. As far as, so the last thing I'm going to talk about, January coming up. Obviously, I'm not going to touch on it too much because we're not at the window yet. There's still 3 games left to go before we can even contemplate January. 4, technically, if you count Barnsley, because rarely any business is done in the first game of January. So we've got 3 or 4 matches before then. But I think when you look at the players that we're looking to try and sell, you've got Kone, you've got Ndong, you've got Rodwell. They're the main 3. Rodwell, quite frankly, would be lucky to get any money for. I think you'd probably be looking to get 1-2 million, if not that. If not less than that, truth be told. That's just to get his 60 grand wages off the books. And the other 2... Kone and Ndong. I think I might be quite ambitious here, but I think if you'd aim to get 20 million combined for the pair of them at least, I think it says something. I think Kone, the Kone under Allardyce is the real Lamine Kone, and the one we've seen over the last year and a half has basically been some sort of fraud. I honestly believe Kone is a lot better than what he's shown. He's going to be one of our higher earners at the club as well. So Ndong, he's the other one. Now he's the one out of the 3 of them that I'll be sort of the most hesitant of getting rid of. But at the same time, if a good offer came in for him, I wouldn't be devastated if we were to get rid of him. But we'll have to wait and see. One thing I would say though, if we were to get good money for these guys, or any sort of money, a majority of that funds have to be used to strengthen the squad. And I think it's a good thing because when it comes to January, if Coleman can get the players that he wants, he can then sort of get the players embedded into the team, get them into a system, and as long as he keeps us up, then next year should have a proper attempt at trying to get promoted. Because I think with Coleman, if he's to do that, he's got the rest of the season's basically a write-off now. All we need to do is, as long as we stay up, the rest of the season's a write-off. So it's a time really to use formations, different tactics, different players and systems and everything. That could be a help for us. Look, anyway, I'm not getting too carried away. Next week against Birmingham is huge. It's massive because Birmingham are now bottom of the table. Now Birmingham and Bolton both got beat today. Now Bolton obviously lost to Burton. Bolton lost to Burton. I would have preferred that game ended a draw, but if I had to obviously pick a winner, I would have picked Bolton. I would have picked Burton for that, just because Burton were on less points than what Bolton were. And Birmingham lost. So I think if we can beat Birmingham, we've got every chance of having a good second half of the season. And obviously now the objective, stay up comfortably, maybe get mid-table, and then go again next season. But, I'll leave you there, guys. First time I've been able to actually do a longer video. Hope it was entertaining enough for you. Apologies about the lack of quality on here. But, nevertheless, good win. Good to see it. We're out the bottom 3. And let's hope to God we're never back in there again. See you later.